The quiet suburban morning was shattered by the realization that Evelyn Vance, a 65-year-old retired schoolteacher known for her meticulous nature and kind heart, had simply vanished into thin air. Before we dive into the chilling layers of this mystery, please consider subscribing to our channel so you never miss another deep dive into the darker corners of human history. Evelyn was the kind of person who kept a perfectly manicured lawn and a calendar filled with community volunteer work. So when she failed to show up for her weekly bridge game, her friends knew something was terribly wrong. Her front door was locked, her keys were on the kitchen counter, and her tea was still sitting on the side table, cold and half-finished. There was no sign of a struggle, no forced entry, and no indication that she had planned to leave. Yet, the air in her home felt heavy, stagnant, with an unspoken dread that seemed to cling to the walls. As the police began their investigation, they quickly turned their attention to the last person known to have entered her home, a local contractor named Arthur Miller. Arthur had been hired to renovate Evelyn's kitchen, a project that had been dragging on for months, ballooning in price while stalling in progress. Evelyn, far from being a pushover, had finally reached her breaking point the day before she disappeared. She had demanded an accounting of the $12,000 she had already handed over to him, threatening to take legal action if the work was not completed immediately. The tension between them had been palpable, witnessed by a neighbor who saw Evelyn standing on her porch, pointing a finger toward the driveway while Arthur stood with his head down, gripping a toolbox like a weapon. The police brought Arthur in for questioning, expecting a routine interview, but what they found instead was a man whose composure began to crumble under the slightest pressure. He claimed he had left Evelyn's house at 5 p.m, having finished his work for the day, and that he had no idea why she would be missing. He spoke with a rehearsed cadence, his eyes darting toward the clock every few seconds, his fingers tracing patterns on the metal table before him. The detectives, seasoned by decades of interrogations, recognized the signs of a man trapped in a web of his own fabrication. They started digging into his financial records, and the facade began to crack. Arthur was deep in debt, drowning in a sea of gambling losses and unpaid loans. The $12,000 Evelyn had paid him was not sitting in a business account. It had been drained within days of receipt, funneled into online betting portals and high-stakes poker games. He was desperate, and desperation is a dangerous catalyst for the unthinkable. As investigators combed through his recent activities, they discovered a series of purchases that defied explanation. Arthur had bought heavy-duty plastic sheeting, industrial-grade cleaning supplies, and a large shovel from a hardware store 3 towns over. He had tried to hide his tracks, but the digital trail was undeniable. When detectives returned to the scene, they found microscopic evidence that contradicted Arthur's timeline. A single drop of blood, no larger than a grain of rice, was discovered behind the refrigerator, a spot that Arthur had supposedly meticulously cleaned. It was the crack in the foundation, the tiny flaw that brought the entire structure of his lies crashing down. But the most haunting part of the investigation was the revelation of his movements during the 48 hours following Evelyn's disappearance. GPS data from his work truck placed him at a remote, sprawling municipal landfill, just as the sun was rising on the day after the confrontation. He had spent hours in that desolate place, navigating through mountains of refuse and waste, searching for the perfect spot to bury his secret. The police realized they weren't just looking for clues. They were looking for a life that had been discarded with as little thought as a piece of trash. The search at the landfill was a grueling, heart-wrenching operation. Dozens of officers sifted through tons of debris, working under the scorching sun, driven by the hope of bringing closure to a family that had been torn apart. Days turned into a week, and the morale of the search team began to wane as the vastness of the site seemed to swallow their efforts. Then, word came from the field. A forensic technician had spotted something amidst the rubble, a small detail that stood out against the gray landscape of waste. It was the red scarf Evelyn was known to wear every day, a vibrant splash of color in a world of gloom. Nearby, they uncovered the truth that Arthur had tried so hard to bury. Evelyn was found, taken from the world in a moment of cold, calculated violence. The horror of the discovery was matched only by the banality of the motive. Arthur Miller had killed a woman who trusted him, a woman who had simply wanted her home to be finished, all to avoid paying back money he had squandered on reckless bets. It was a crime born of cowardice and greed, a life extinguished because a man could not face the consequences of his own failure. In his subsequent confession, he tried to paint the event as an accident, a sudden argument that escalated, but the evidence told a different, more chilling story. He had come to the house that day with an empty bank account and a heart hardened by his own ruin. He had gone there to silence the one person who stood between him and the exposure of his fraudulent life. The courtroom proceedings were brief, as the weight of the physical evidence left no room for debate or doubt. The community, once quiet and safe, was forever scarred by the knowledge of what had happened behind the closed doors of the house on the corner. Evelyn's legacy, however, was not defined by the tragedy of her passing, but by the strength of her character and the impact she had left on the students she had taught for 40 years. Arthur Miller was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, a small measure of justice for a crime that felt disproportionately cruel in its motivation. As we reflect on this case, it serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can hide behind the faces of those we invite into our lives. We often trust the people who walk through our doors, assuming they share our values and our respect for life. But sometimes, the most dangerous threats are the ones we pay to keep close. The tragedy of Evelyn Vance is a haunting lesson in human fragility and the terrifying reality that an ordinary life can be stolen for reasons that defy empathy. As you walk through your own neighborhood, perhaps you will look at the contractors or the workers in your home with a slightly more discerning eye, not out of paranoia, but out of a healthy recognition of the complexities of the human condition. We are all responsible for guarding our own safety, yet we cannot always predict the moments when someone else's desperation becomes our own nightmare. The story of Evelyn and Arthur is now a part of the permanent record, a chilling testament to how quickly the mundane can turn into the macabre. The landfill, a place of discarded things, became the final resting place for a woman of substance, a fact that remains one of the most painful aspects of this entire investigation. It underscores the profound disrespect the predator felt toward his victim, treating her existence as nothing more than an obstacle to be cleared from his path. In the aftermath, the neighborhood where Evelyn lived changed. The houses seemed a little further apart, the windows a little darker at night, and the trust that once defined the community was replaced by a wary caution. People began to talk more about security, about background checks, and about the importance of being aware of the people we let into our personal spaces. The case of Evelyn Vance became a cautionary tale that local authorities used to illustrate the dangers of unregulated transactions and the importance of professional verification. It was a bitter lesson, purchased at the highest possible cost. Even now, years later, when the anniversary of her disappearance rolls around, the local paper runs a memorial, reminding the town that Evelyn was not just a case file or a tragic headline, but a person whose joy and intellect were stolen in a moment of unforgivable selfishness. Arthur Miller sits in a cell today, a man whose life has been reduced to 4 walls and a window, faced with the empty reality of his own choices. He has had plenty of time to consider the $12,000 that cost him everything, and he has had to live with the gravity of what he did. There is no redemption in his story, no lesson that can bring back what was lost, only the cold, hard reality of the facts. We hope this exploration of the case has provided you with a deeper understanding of the importance of vigilance and the weight of the stories we tell. If you value the work we put into uncovering these true accounts, please consider supporting us by liking this video and sharing it with someone who appreciates a serious, investigative look into the mysteries of the real world. Your support allows us to continue bringing these cases to light, ensuring that the people behind the headlines are remembered for who they were, and that the truths behind their disappearances are never allowed to fade into the shadows. We thank you for joining us on this solemn journey through the facts of a case that should never have happened. A reminder that in every life, there is a story, and in every story there is a truth worth seeking. Remember to keep a watchful eye on your surroundings and never underestimate the value of your own safety and the peace of mind that comes from knowing who you are letting into your space. Stay safe, stay curious, and keep seeking the truth behind the mysteries that surround us every single day.